What if I told you you could play the new Warhammer 3 faction of Albion right now? Well, you can with the Albion mod from OVN Lost Factions. Albion is kind of the old Celtic Britain themed faction, coming with 2 legendary lords in Marinian the Murder Queen and Dural Durak. Both with different starting armies and with different start positions. There's plenty to play. Here's some of the units in the army, this being the legendary lord Marinian herself. A really great job on this, giving the character some life and not just looking like a generic lord. Some of your low tier units, you'll find your warband boys. These are the ones with great weapons, obviously got some armor piercing damage in them. Then we have the Oathsworn, who, if you've played Rome 2, you'll probably feel familiar with, as these big bad bastards were a heavy elite infantry in that, as they are here. And no British force would be complete without some Highlanders with their big old two-handed swords, ready to take your head, you wee bastard. There's also some ladies in the Maiden Guard, some damage-dealing infantry, and a sneaky ranged unit in the Huntresses. There's also Oathsworn cavalry, big damage-dealing regenerating foresty men, a feral griffin for all your bird-lion needs. The Welsh have also had some representation in the Fen Beasts coming straight out of Newport covered in shit. There's also a big chunky dad version as a single entity monster in the Fen Hulk. And that is but a handful of the units in the roster, there is a load more. Now onto the campaign itself. For Dural Durak, who I'm playing, you do start off on the island of Albion, just off the coast of Norska, with a Tzeentch faction and a Norska faction as your enemies. No sign of Be'lakor around here, and we do get a pretty nice starting army here as well. We've got some Oathsworn, so those big heavy boys. We've got some Druidic Initiates, Warband, Youngblood Slingers, Centaurs, and an Albion Giant. We also have a Druidic Priest hero who does come with a mixed magic lore. The campaign is fully fleshed out as well, with Albion-related buildings, its own tech tree, and pretty much everything else that you'd expect to fully feel like you're playing a different faction than one of the ones already in Warhammer 3. Now, just to play a few turns of this campaign here, we're going to move on to our first battle, declaring war on this Tzeentch faction. It's a pretty easy battle to start with, but this is a good way to test out your units and see what they can do. We do get our big boy Albion Giant, who clearly was born and raised in Glasgow. We can tell this by his perpetual frown and missing teeth. We've also got our Centaurs, half horse, half man thing with big two-handed axes. Naturally, it's pretty easy to disrupt the Blue Horrors with those Centaurs, and then you just get into them with the Oathsworn and the Druidic Initiates, who I believe have magical attacks, so they'll be good against demons. And then we're just beating down the Lord with the Giant and my Lord, maybe the hero and some missiles as well. And it's Lord of Change Thigh on the menu tonight. We can then move on to capture our first enemy settlement in Konkata, but it is a siege, so we're going to have to build some stuff and hope they sally out, so we will do that and see what happens. They do indeed sally out for us, which is good. We can get a Pyrrhic victory, but there's no fun in auto-resolve, so we're going to fight this. We should be able to do it pretty comfortably. All we got to try and do is disrupt their missiles. Try not to let them shoot us because we don't have a ton of armor in a lot of our armies, so we're going to kind of focus on one side first and just try and disrupt the rest. Get half of it gone and then deal with the other half. And that plan does work out pretty well. I've got my Lord and Hero just diving into crowds, trying to disrupt them for a bit, while everything else over on this side gets the job done. A little Centaur, Hammer and Anvil over here. Going to get rid of these Blue Horrors, and then these units can help the middle units. And we can sweep across and wipe all the Blue Horrors out. And that is how this one, for the most part, plays out. We do take a fair pounding ourselves, though. Blue Horrors aren't super easy to put away. They can put a little bit of damage back on you, and there was more of them than there was of us. I came to notice that my units were routing quite often. There is some low leadership going on in these cheaper warband type units, so they can be quite shaky. So at this stage, it's kind of relying on the Giant and the Oathsworn. But we still managed to get the job done, even if a Pyrrhic victory, which means we've now taken the main settlement of this province, which gives us 2 out of the 3, which means there's 1 more to grab. And we can notice the nice pictures and unique descriptions for the options of capturing a settlement as well. A nice detail there. Now for one of the main mechanics of this campaign, Rampant Chaos. We must uncover the waystones scattered throughout Albion, though it will attract things of evil and chaos to our land, but this is our duty and responsibility to the world. So we may get invasions from demon or chaos forces, and there is this waystones network with its geomantic web vibes, showing that we need to travel the world basically and claim these waystone sites. There's only a few of them, but it's nice to have some kind of direction and kind of really objective goal to go after. And this all ties into the victory conditions, where you have to construct 3 of the following buildings, surging waystone. Moving on a few turns, I've sorted my army out, merged a few units, recruited a few new ones. I'm about to attack the last settlement, but there was just a big full stack here that's disappeared, so I'm risking the ambush here. Nope, we made it. We're okay, although apparently that army is there somewhere, because you can see they are reinforced by a full stack right here. Can't see it on the map at the moment, though. I guess maybe it was hidden. We're going to have to retreat. We can't win that. Yeah, there it is. So it was at the back behind the settlement. That's lucky that it wasn't in front, because then we may well have been ambushed. We'll retreat, though, in the hope that maybe just the bigger army will pursue us, but it's very possible that both of those armies there will come after us. But at least we won't have to fight the garrison. And there we go. It is both of the armies that have come after us, the bigger one and the little reinforcing one. We'll retreat, hopefully, next to our settlement. Oh, okay, so we didn't retreat next to our settlement. But I think maybe the bigger army couldn't quite reach me, so the little one didn't bother. And now we've got the bigger one by himself. This has played out perfectly. It's still a tough fight, though. There's a lot of Chaos Warriors there. It's only a Pyrrhic victory we could take, but we shall fight this. Okay, I lied. We're not going to fight... Well, I am going to fight this, but you're not going to watch it because it looks hideously ugly. For some reason, the lighting is very weird on this map. Look how grey everybody is. The light behind the mountains looks weird as well. It's just very obnoxious to look at. I won't subject you to it. And my luminous green units, apparently. TLDR, I am going to win this battle. It wasn't super easy, though. It felt like the warband, the cheap warband units do break quite easily compared to the Chaos Warriors. But with the routing terror power of the Giant and the Oathsworn and Durrell Darrick himself, we had enough power there to be able to take down and rout off a lot of the Chaos Warriors as well. Because Sigmar knows we probably didn't have the manpower to be able to beat them up more than they beat us up. As you can see here, most of the Chaos Warriors just got routed off, still with half of their health left, but that was enough for us. We were able to get them off the map and take the victory, getting rid of the big Vanaheimlings army, which means we should be fairly comfortable to be able to move on their last settlement. I have merged a few units again and recruited a few new ones so that I don't take too long and give them time to replenish their army, because you can see they're building it up. We've got a regiment of renown I'm going to take, though. Some fiery boys. We'll see what use they can be. We should have enough here to take this settlement down. Let's find out. No, we don't. Valiant defeat, apparently, but that's fine. We'll take a turn or so just to wear them down a little bit. Maybe they'll sally out and fight us. If they do, that's fine. I think we can take them on, but why not wear them down just a little bit? On to the next turn, though, and it's Norskins, me lord. Norskins on the coast, heading for my one precious settlement here. They did declare war on me a while ago, so we're going to need to do something about this. Otherwise, they're going to roll up onto the shores and take my first settlement here, which does not have any kind of garrison building. It does have an 11 garrison, so it's not too bad. They don't quite have a full stack. It probably needs some help to survive, though. So we'll get an extra lord, and we're going to have at least one turn before they can get to us, because they'll have to get up on the land from the shore first. So we'll be able to recruit some units. We'll get one of these big tough-looking boys. Extra leadership should be useful here. And then we'll whack him in the settlement, and we can get him a few units. Some initiates, or maybe some warband great weapons. Bit of armor-piercing damage might be handy. Damage dealer boys could be what we need. And we better do this quick so our army is freed up. We could auto-resolve, but we'll lose everybody. I'm pretty sure this is a land battle, yep. Let's just fight this then and get this done so we can move over and defend against Nurska. So these new Regiment of Renown boys have come straight from bed. They're still in their pajamas, it seems, but they got their flaming sword. So actually it's a flaming axe in the shape of a sword. I don't know what's happening, but they look kind of cool. So we've got some pajama warriors. We're moving the army up straight away. The enemy's pretty much edge camping the map, so nice one AI. But now it's time for a cinematic approach scene montage. Alright, enough of that. I'm trying to sneak my doggos and centaurs behind these dirty edge-camping AI bastards while the front of my army approaches. They've got a lot of missiles that I need to disrupt. They've got a bunch of javelins and some throwing axes, and I can't let those fire on my boys, especially the Giant, as he is pretty much the centerpiece of my army. He's the one routing everybody off. I can't have him getting plastered by javelins and taken out, so we got to try and get on these missiles. The front doth approach. We'll get our attack orders in. Make sure we get our charges. And as long as we can keep those missiles busy and keep them from using their ammo, we should be absolutely fine. And, oh, was that sorry? Oh, you want more cinematics, this time with doggos? Well, alright. Definitely didn't leave my lord and hero at the back of the map, no sir. Other than that, the battle's been going fine. We're kind of crunching up the right side, and they're kind of crunching up the left side. So we're kind of sacrificing a little bit over on the left. Not committed so much over here, but that's fine. We'll let them win on the left. We've won on the right, and then we'll sweep across and take out what they've got on the left. My men also seem to be having a bit of an identity crisis.
Men of Bretonia!
But we've executed the plan to kind of come across. I brought the giant over into that left side, and he's just routed everything away. So we're going to get a fairly comfortable victory and get this job done, and that will be the whole of Albion captured. So it was a little bit of a challenge. It wasn't super easy. We got kind of lucky in the way the armies ended up panning out. We do have the Norskans on our doorsteps now, though, which we're going to have to deal with. And I guess that's where I'm probably going to go next, as there is a waystone over in Norska, so I'm going to go over there and get that, take out Norska along the way as well, and then we'll have to decide which other one we may need to go to. And if you wonder what happens with the old Norskans coming for me, well, they do end up landing on my coast and looking like they're going to attack me, but after I move my big army back to Kolkata on the way to go and defend it, they seem to change their mind and head back out to sea, rather wisely, I shall say. But there we go, there's a bit of the Albion campaign, link in the description if you want to try this mod out, if you fancy a new faction, something fresh to play that does feel pretty well fleshed out. This mod is a good one. I hope you've enjoyed this, thanks for watching, I will see you in the future.